full-on out magic damage fiesta here if both of them does indeed go out.
Oh no, look at Neutron with
my
2
God.
refresher orbs.
That is high rolling as, oh my lord.
Hey guys, this month I'm giving away a PlayStation 4. All you have to do is comment on this video to enter, but be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified whenever I post a video, because to pick the winner, I'll be randomly selecting one comment from each video I post throughout the month, then selecting one of those people at random to win the console. So the more videos you comment on, the higher your chances are to win. Good luck. Also, my good friend Alexandro is giving away a Nintendo Switch this month, so be sure to head over to his channel for more details on that.
Yeah, perhaps. And so Chuck, he was running, I'm gonna say Knight Dragons with 2 Dragon Knights. Yeah. We've actually seen a lot more 6 Knights, both earlier and later in the game. So maybe something you should think about there at home, not going for that typical Glacier Knight build early every game. Just see that there's a second option, basically.
There's a few different options actually that we've seen. We've also seen a 6 Knight 4 Glacier composition without the addition of Soul Reaper.
Yeah.
We've now seen this Dragon Knight composition. Of course, that's actually been around for such a long time, but hasn't really been revitalized until Chuck just got a nice first place win with it just now as well. So there's definitely other options out there, to say the least. And right now, back into Game 7. Just 2 games left of the NA GLL House Cup Auto Chess Championship for $20,000 here. Neutron starting things off with not the greatest start. Does have just 1 Soulbreaker, a pair of Warriors to go along with it. T-Tigers gets himself 2 Soulbreakers. Much better start from T-Tigers with that God of War as well.
2 of the strongest starting units, basically Soulbreaker and God of War.
Yep, Chuck with his typical high roll God of War 2-star. No surprises, no surprises. Vincent now with some pretty valuable units and a interesting looking chess player as he slides across to the top left corner. Zugrug also with a kind of interesting start. If I was him, I'd be thinking about a potential open fort, especially with seeing the pickup from Chuck. Monty with an actually very early Dwarf Sniper with the addition of 2 nice Warriors frontline. So not a bad start for Monty either. Hosty with his God and mech combination, so not bad for him.
Yeah, really
honestly, if he does, if he does find a goblin, I would say I'd probably take that over the God of War, because it is quite nice. But wow, look at all these 2-stars. T-Tigers, Sizzle actually picking up 2 2-stars right here.
That is nice. And it doesn't have really any synergy, but in the beginning, it's a lot about getting to those 2-stars, as your units doesn't only get double the damage, but basically double the health, and together that's I almost feel like it's a bit even better than double as good of a unit, if you will. Actually has really nice placement against his opponent in Neutron, where that Tabo Witcher continuously hitting that Agressis Ranger, which of course doesn't have any mana to speak of, doesn't really care about that. So nice for Sizzle there to get that early win. Also trying to figure out how to pick a synergy of some sort at this point.
Monty, as you can see, with that very powerful early starting Dwarf Sniper. And keep in mind, again, the 3 that you guys want to pay attention to these next 2 games here are Monty, T-Tigers, and Neutron. They're the ones that are battling it out for that essential 4th place at this point in time. Of course, things can change going into the last one, but right now, those are the 3 to watch this game.
I think the 3rd place is contestable. I mean, he's a little bit more further away, but it is contestable at this point. But a lot will happen. I do agree. It's a lot more about that 4th place, realistically.
Yeah, and that 3rd place, as you were talking about, was Sizzle. So again, if he happens to get some type of 8th place or something along those lines,
this is a nice start. Yeah. Let's find those triple rangers. We talked a lot about how powerful they are, because when you enable that alliance, you do get a flat of damage increase, which is so nice in the beginning. Not scaling insanely well, but if you get flat out damage, earlier you get it, the better it becomes, basically.
Yeah, Sizzle needing to have a good round here to kind of
Yeah.
pull away from the other pack for the most part, and already starting into it.
I love that it actually has this comp in the beginning because we've seen it being so solid. It's basically super hard to fail with it, you know, because there's a tons of hunters to enable in this build and tons of warriors. The flexibility is really there, and it also transitions super well. So you will rarely see a really bad game from it, even though it might not win every game, basically, in comparison to maybe a feathered hunter build that is a lot of high variance, honestly, and same with like assassins and stuff. Maybe a reason why we don't see it too often. Even Beast Warriors, I think, is kind of high variance. It's very dependent on getting a lot of 2-stars early and pushing the envelope for your opponents. And as soon as you lose, you kind of fall off pretty quickly. So, yeah, nice for him. Only needs a million finish at this point.
Now, Hosty actually dropping into an open fort with Fortune Teller, and for Hosty, it just feels like same story, different game.
Yeah.
Always dropping into a lose streak almost consistently every single time. So that is something to look at, because if there are players that are able to play from win streaks every now and then, I would say that there's got to be a reason why they're able to do that, and why Hosty feels like he does need to drop into a lose streak every time. I would say possibly looking at picking up some more of those key units like Soulbreaker, Skybreaker, God of War, and I would assume that he already knows that, of course, if he is this far into the tournament, but just something to keep in mind, of course, for him.
What's his swarm sniper unit? His opponent. It was just Neutron was not attacking at all. Almost working like a melee unit that couldn't get there, so he just stopped. Either way, it's not gonna matter against that lone Fortune Teller. Kind of messing up the AI a little bit, being the only unit in play. Something maybe the AI is not used to only facing one unit, since you can have 3 units in play as soon as you get to start playing against a player. Either way, Sizzle staying at 100% here. We already talked about that Hunter build being so strong in that early game. Honestly, he doesn't have a ton of 2-stars, but he is a lot stronger than he looks here. Red Axe Chief is also pretty much a perfect front line. Maybe God of War 2 is a little bit better, a little bit tankier, but it's all about being tanky for flat out damage increase from those hunters.
Yeah, and now getting put up against Monty with a very similar build, but he is level 5, so he should be just fine up against Monty, because it's basically a mirror build, just better for the most part.
Yeah, also has another 2-star unit there, so should be just fine, as you mentioned.
Chuck also going 100%, which is really no surprise from Chuck. He always seems to be able to put himself in a position where he can somehow magically high roll himself to victory.
I mean, that 2-star Swordman is so powerful at this point, and going up to 6 to protect his streak, putting in another Swordman. Would like to see him put in that Red Axe Chief, maybe valuing actually the God buff over the Red Axe Chief. Does have that warrior bonus, it's possible he will get a double spin-off. It's close, I think, especially with that second Swordman. It's not like Lightblade Paladin or Taboo Witcher is offering you so much at this point, but
let's take a look, because honestly, after what we've seen this weekend, I really feel like maybe that God buff is a little too overvalued right now by Chuck, but
yeah. It's nice though that it does have that Taboo Witcher in play, shutting off 2 Shadow Devils from Neutron, something you don't see every day, so.
He does get 2 spins off from his Swordman and quite a few pops from his God of War shield, so
dealing a lot of damage, yeah.
Not too bad at all.
That's fun. Now I think he's got to put it in, basically. Trying to figure out how he's going to rearrange his units. Yeah, that's sell that Silver Blade Knight. Yeah, let's put it in finally. There's just basically too many Cave Clan units that are benefiting from this Red Axe Chief. Also, Red Axe Chief, of course, getting the bonus from the Warrior buff, so it's just so much stronger than Lightblade Knight at this point.
Yeah.
Neutron actually has 4 magic.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is pretty insane, and I would hope that he would go Mages at this point if he can somehow switch into it. He does have
definitely going for Mages.
Double Shadow Devils. He does have now a Thunder Spirit, but
a good tell is that it already has a Magic Crystal on its Dwarf Sniper. Not a unit you don't usually want to put it on, and since he might sell that to get back his Magic Crystal. He does have a lot of magic crystals though, so you could probably spread the
To
love
go
a little
around.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can be a little bit
Frisky with them.
Frisky.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know the exact word I'm looking for, but yeah, he can give some of that love around. And honestly, Sizzle has a pretty good start with items as well. Some of the ones that are kind of struggling a bit on the item side are probably Vincent for the most part. Well, he does pick up an anti-mag cloak, which isn't horrible. And
Yeah, Sakurai not looking great on the items either.
Yeah.
Kind of on the same level as Vincent here.
yeah, for the most part, I would say so, yeah. And let's take a look at the gold gain chart. We haven't seen this too much actually for this lobby. We take maybe one look at it per game around this time. And Posty, of course, with his full open fort strategy.
Yeah, should have a lot of gold at this point, but it is costing him a lot of health. Does luckily have that fortune teller to help him, but he really needs to turn around for round 15. Does not want to lose against the wolves, and after the wolves, you do need to kind of increase in power level. Sagrog finding a 2-star Venom here. That's super strong. I'm a little scared actually for Neutron. Neutron does have the least amount of gold, and he doesn't actually have that. I mean, he doesn't have that much HP either in terms of how much gold he has, and we see this happening sometimes too. This middling strategies where you can't hit those interest points while you're winning some and losing some. So
Yeah, I
Neutron
think,
really needs the points as well.
well, the gold is one thing. Also, the fact that his team is kind of a little bit all over the place,
Yeah,
where he's not really sure too much whether he's going for
demons or
I mean,
mages.
it's all over the place, right? He has
Yeah.
some options of different things he can go. He also has this Shining Archer, which I would hope that he sells, which he
Yep.
does, thankfully, because with all those magic crystals, he should be going into some type of mage formation.
Yeah. Unlikely
point.
that he will get the source in this game, given that he can basically make his own source by just giving out a few magic crystals left and right.
Yeah, just going Dragon Mages with probably a Tortola Elder and Flaming Wizard.
Yeah, that's
Probably going to be his best bet.
for sure. How's the... Okay, trying to turn it around a little bit, looking to be able to be strong enough to beat those wolves. What about Sagrog? He's also kind of loose streaking-esque. He doesn't even have 50 gold though, so kind of weird position here. I would assume his gold gain isn't at his best. He has a pretty expensive board with that 2-star Venom. Not that 2-star Venom is bad by any means. Super good with those dragons that have been seen so much, but yeah, he is second to last in gold gain, so yeah, tells a story here.
He
The
needs to be a
position he's
little,
in.
like, pretty much bailed out by a nice Dragonite high roll right about
Yeah.
now, and he'll be looking in good shape. But until then, he's got some work to do, I
For
would
sure.
say.
Yeah, Sissel still at 100%, so looking real nice. Vincent
Vincent might be disconnected. Not
goes
sure.
back, yeah. We see
Yeah, there he
the
goes.
players flicker a little bit
Yeah.
in the disconnection. I said this previously in another day of the cast, but there was once I played this game, and whenever I actually alt-tabbed out of the game or to my second screen, it showed as I was disconnected. So maybe a bit of the same here, because players tend to come back really quickly into the lobby again.
Yeah, Monty actually looking really strong right now, to be
Mm-hmm.
completely honest. 50 gold, one of the few that it is actually fully economized with 73% HP. Also has a very clean team with hunters and the double dwarf snipers, and
Mm.
also has a really good front line as well, where he's actually going to pick up a win against Grug,
Yeah.
no problem. And
You can
also
really
has
see
a
the
very nice bench as well.
You can really see the aggressive bonus working to a large extent here. This is just two of the strongest kind of synergies you can have in the early game. The flat out damage from the hunters alongside aggressive. So powerful.
Yeah, also speaking of somebody in a really
Jesus.
good spot, we do have Sizzle with the dragon bonus
He's
already
done.
activated. Going into round 15, he's 100%, and then he also has the egg in order to make a 2-star Dragonite potentially really soon.
I mean, Sissel is looking so strong, and the reason is that his lineup is pretty much finished. You know, he has all the synergies he need. He's already transitioned into a late game lineup, and isn't looking strong at that. has, of course, the most amount of health with 100%, but also the pretty good economy, giving his long win streak. So
Yeah,
yeah.
one thing I like that he did was he removed his source, gave
Yeah.
up Mage bonus in order to add in a second Venom, which is extremely good against creep rounds here. But once he gets back into the PvP rounds, he'll go ahead
Yeah.
and remove the Venom, put the 2-star source back in, get that Mage bonus, get that human bonus, and start rocking and rolling once again.
Yeah, really good point there. Some units are just so much better against creep rounds, like the Venom slowing them down, or the Desperate Doctor keeping them locked down, or maybe a Spirit bonus, basically stunning them. Yeah, it's all about having a tanky lineup along some CC, or one or the other, or both, basically.
Yeah, we see Chuck here with a pair of 2-star Swordman, also has the Divinity buff activated, as well as the Mage bonus. So those Swordmans are going to be doing a lot of damage.
Yeah.
And the God of War also nothing to squawk at either, because it still has that Divinity bonus. Kind of starting to probably fall off at this point, plus the positioning a little bit awkward there.
I would just like him to get another warrior though that's not like impacting the divinity buff. That would honestly lead him so well into the divinity mage build. What kind of warrior could he be looking for? Because of course humans are taking a lot of those higher tier warriors are humans. Maybe an abyssal guard. That's the only one I can really think of that would be decent in the late game as well, alongside maybe a siren to cut off the divinity buff if you would need so against some dragon mage. But yeah, abyssal guard definitely not the worst.
Yeah,
Stone Spirit another option.
We all know that he's
no.
probably not going Divinity though. He's more so going into Dragon Mages, because he does have the double Venoms
Yeah, that does make sense.
ready to go. Also the Shining Dragon, and it's just honestly a more consistent, better build at the end of the day.
What about the matchups? However, we have Dragon Mage, we have some Hunters, probably gonna transition out of that later into Dragon Mage as well. Chuck does have that. Let's see. Yeah, that's Dragon. That's one we're looking at. Maybe Divinity, maybe Dragon Mage. Monty is playing. He's playing regular Hunters actually. He's kind of cemented himself into that with that 2-star Dwarf Sniper, I believe. Vincent is working with Glacier Knight. And Sagrog is kind of transitioning into Dragon Mages also. Here we have kind of a mage build. It's kind of a mess of a setup with that Shadow Devil. Sometimes it's really good with mages. However, it does lock up a spot and it isn't really providing you anything in terms of synergies. Usually we see that luxury spot go to Storm Shaman when we get to that point, but it is a strong unit in the early game. And lastly, we have another Glacier Knight player. What I was really looking for was how many Glacier players is there in this lobby. We know that Divinity is really good against them, but with only 2, and some of them really in the bottom tier, it's not so important. Maybe you should look out for this large number of other Dragon Mage players trying to stay away from Divinity, as that is kind of the rock against the paper, if you will.
Yes,
Yeah.
or the rock against the scissors.
It depends on how you look at it.
Yeah,
I was thinking that the Dragon Mage is the paper.
yeah. Dragon Mage is definitely paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Divinity is rock. Okay,
Yeah.
there we go.
There you go.
Glad we figured that out.
We do have Zagra. I actually wanted to take a look at Neutron's team here, because this is the most interesting one, I think, out of all of them, because
Yeah.
he's got a lot of work to do as far as transitioning is concerned. He's also using this Red Axe Chief, which I think is maybe less efficient as the 1-star Pirate Captain, to be completely honest. And he also has a shield on it that he could give to that Pirate Captain, and potentially just have a little bit cleaner of a team, and using some of those units that are actually worth more value. Also having that human bonus in there at the front line, silencing maybe one extra
Honestly,
unit that he needs to
I
as well.
think Red Axe Chief is better for now because he doesn't have any other frontliner, and the most important part is that that frontliner survives as long as possible. Since he doesn't have 3 warriors, it doesn't have that much armor, and as soon as that Red Axe Chief doesn't need Berserker's Call, he's gonna get a bunch more armor. Maybe survive a little bit longer than a Pirate Captain, who can get nuked down, but I think he's gonna transition out of it pretty quickly honestly, especially if he finds another human to add to get that 4 human silence bonus.
The question though is, would that Red Axe Chief survive longer than Pirate Captain as well as a Pirate Captain 1-star
Ghost
stun?
ship, yeah. I'm just not so sure you will get off the stun. That's what I'm also scared about in this comp. He doesn't have the source either to help him out, so I honestly think it's a close decision. He has so much damage with the Shadow Devil. Yeah, something to think about. You might, of course, be right.
Yeah, I just think it's
But, yeah.
interesting to talk about because it actually can go either way. And personally, I think I would just throw in the Pirate Captain because it is kind of a toss-up, and I do have a pretty tanky
wow.
Thunder Spear with the.
I like that you
Refresher
clicked on
orb.
it just to show that the Thunder Spirit you were talking about,
Yeah.
not realizing there was an Orb of Refresher on
Right.
it. Neither did I know, honestly. So, yeah, kind of sick setup for Thunder Spirit here.
Wow, Neutron actually rolling all the way down, and
Something we see often at 21, people really trying to improve their lineup as they're scared of other people doing the same. It's kind of becoming a domino effect. There we finally see him selling that once he finds the 4th human, as we were talking about a little bit there. So yeah, maybe the thing kind of made it go over the top over the Red Axe Chief there.
yeah, let me go stop and take a look here.
Let's not get off
Yeah,
his
didn't
ult,
get off
unfortunately.
the boats. But let's go take a look at Chuck because he had a ton of upgrades just now as well with a 3-star Swordman, but still loses to Neutron, actually, which is the player that we've kind of been going back and forth with just
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
But-
Neutron kind of picking up some slack. He was really low on economy early, if I'm not mistaken, but he looks quite strong now. Has a good chance of re-economizing, staying over that 40% also. Wow, that's a 3-star Swordman, just as you said too. There's a lot of potential upgrades getting to 3-star here. More than we usually see, honestly.
Yeah, and he is pretty well economized. I am definitely agreeing with him rolling down now to try to find those upgrades. He picks up a couple eggs.
One more egg for a 2-star Storm Spirit.
Yeah.
Also, one
Yeah, just-
Storm Spirit away from a 3-star. Could also use the egg to get that God of War. He's gonna wait one more turn, see if he can get either upgrade, but after that I think he's gonna use one of his eggs at the very least to 3-star that God of War. Most likely, as you are using a 5 gold unit to make a 1 gold unit, which is kind of a economy loss, but God of War 3 is so strong and it lets you put in another unit. It's not often we see Source as the one last remaining unit, as it does usually
Wow.
lose every 1 versus 1 versus basically everything but a strange egg that we have seen him play.
Yeah. I think this is a hypercarry source. Probably going to get it to 3-star after that display. Just
Oh, she's working. Let's put everything on her.
Dragon Ball Ballista incoming. We have Monty with the traditional Hunter build, actually pretty close to a
Does-
nice amount of
yeah.
upgrades, to be honest.
See Neutron, get another 2. Got a War Sagra finding another egg. Does use that for a Storm Shaman. Super curious to see what Chuck. He does indeed end up using that for that God of War. I believe. No, he actually
Yeah.
found the 3rd one, right? Didn't? No, he did not.
Now he is the egg,
Yeah, yeah. Well, Manta actually looking super strong. 2 Dwarf Snipers, 2-star. Does have that Siren as well, 2-star. Soul Reaper 2, super important for the Erix's bonus to give that physical backline so much more damage. Really looking to find another Marine unit. Probably at this point, Abyssal Guard, not fantastic maybe. Kind of hard to find also being level 8. Really looking for a Tsunami Stalker, I think. Especially with how many Dragon Mage players there are in this lobby. Yeah, I think Monty has a good chance in this game, honestly.
Yeah, he definitely needs it. He's one of those players that are looking to kind of have a more solid chance of getting in, with this being the second to last game. It is Monty, T-Tigers, as well as Neutron that are looking to finish as high as they possibly can to give themselves the best possibility of moving on now.
Abyssal Guard actually very easily, much
Yeah.
more easily than you would usually see, and does remove one of his frontline warriors to get that. And honestly, that's such a big upgrade. We talked about that when we went through the lineup. We could see how many Dragon Mage players there really are in this in this lobby. There's like what 4 or 5 or something like that. I think there's like 2 Glacier Knight players, 1 Hunter players, and that's it. I think the rest is based off magic damage.
Yeah, there's only the 2 Knights Glacier, about to be just 1 Knights Glacier potentially as well, with Hosey being at 1%. If he can't get through these, which I think he's going to be just fine, but
Some nice lifesteal right there.
yeah, very, very close there for Hosey. Zugrug also pretty much on this deathbed at 6%, fully in, and also losing still to Chuck. Vincent pretty much on the chopping block as well. Probably 2 Lightblade Knights away
Yeah.
from a 3-star, also 3 Hell Knights away from a 3-star. Hosey picks up a Strange Egg, which could potentially help him out with his Soul Reaper. He's going to get into this creep round, though, and not worry too much. But, yeah,
Actually,
a couple, I mean, Vincent being a
Yeah.
strong player, really close to going out here, and his team doesn't really look that strong either. Kind of has to rely on a bit of luck.
Honestly, all of the Knight Glacier players are all in the bottom 3, right? No, okay, Cygreg not playing it, but
Yeah, there's only
2 of them
2
being in the
main
bottom.
ones,
Yeah, both of them being in the bottom here. We could see a pretty full-on out magic damage fiesta here if both of them does indeed go out.
Oh no, look at Neutron
Oh
with
my
2
god.
refresher orbs.
That is high rolling as, oh my lord. I've never seen that happen actually. I've been so close so many times. But yeah, I never seen that happen.
Would you rather have 2 refresher orbs and a Heaven's Gift, or would you rather have all these items that, say, Sizzle or T-Tigers has?
2 refresh orbs and a Heaven's Gift.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. He's got that one, and he's got this one, of course, without being 2-star. Wow, Vincent actually picked up a 3-star Hell Knight
Wow, that was
with
nice.
like a couple gold.
Yeah, where did that come from?
He had only 1 2-star Hell Knight on the side here going into the creep round, and he was able to find 3 more
That's so
just
sick,
like
actually.
that.
Yeah.
Just high roll. That's all you got to do. Just high roll.
Yeah, that is indeed sick. It's basically like
It has a Heaven's Gift on it, so yeah, not bad.
that's you're gonna make it so much stronger. I mean, whenever you upgrade a unit to 3-star that does have a Heaven's Gift, not only does the unit, of course, scale so well with that upgrade, but the item scales as well. That's the sick part, because it does give you that shield base off of its maximum health, which a 3-star is quite a lot, honestly.
Zugrug dropping down to 1%. Hosey just
2%,
barely
yeah.
hanging on at 2%.
Classic
Neutron.
Lightblade pilot. Classic Lightblade Knight surviving on his own.
Yeah. It's
How many times have you seen that, honestly? That is
typically
crazy.
Lightblade and Hell Knight. Yeah, Chuck also only at 27%, but his team it looks much better in my opinion than some of these like Zugrug or Hosty compositions. Of course, Hosty, I mean, if he had Vince's luck, he could just roll down here and get 3 Hell Knights, no problem, and be in really good shape.
I'm glad you're giving out solid advice to our players.
Yeah, Zugrug is obviously looking for that Dragonite, but has
Jesus, yeah, he hasn't found it yet.
This
That's
is-
so bad for him.
this
That's
is gonna
really
spell
unlucky,
a,
honestly.
yeah, he's gonna get knocked out here, especially to Neutron with the 2-star Triptola Elder with the
Refresher orb,
refresher
right?
orb.
No
Actually,
big
winning.
No,
Wow,
yeah,
very
deal. I
impressive.
did not see that coming either.
Yeah,
Yeah, basically Neutron has like a divinity buff without having any gods.
Yeah.
With all the refresher orbs. Who needs
Yeah.
divinity buff when you have a refresher
just
orb on
on
all
all
of
of
your
your
units?
carry mages. Exactly. Vincent actually really close now to a 3-star Lightblade Knight. All 3 of our bottom 3 players are just clinging to dear life, hoping to stay alive just one more round, not going down
Right.
last place, right? And Vincent, though, winning against some of the top players in the lobby pretty easily, so I think he's going to be okay for now.
Yeah, also
But
has
we'll
that
see.
extra buffer. He basically has 10 more life than both Host and Sagrug.
Yeah, let's take a look at the top of the lobby real quick. Then we'll take one turn here, and hopefully all these players don't go out as we take a peek. But Sizzle actually picking up a 3-star. Thunder Spirit still. I would egg this. I would egg
Yeah.
the Dragonite.
Same here. What are you looking for, actually?
Yeah, probably just waiting for the Tortola Elder or waiting for one or the other, then egging the other one, but I just don't think you have that luxury right now in this game.
Does indeed go down against Neutron being quite strong at this point. Sagrag is facing elimination here, I do believe. It's going to be our play that's going out on 8th spot if Host is not being eliminated before.
Ooh,
It's close. Host actually
Ooh.
does go out before Sagrag, who finally does go out. Did indeed hide in the corner in the most professional way. Does net him a point actually, so some APM skills working in his favor.
Yeah, and Neutron also kind of not necessarily on the chopping block as much as Vince is. Vince also lost that last round to Monty, actually.
Yeah, Montes kind of been doing something I don't like doing. I mean, this turn he did get another Dwarf Sniper, but previously he went up to 7 gold and he kept rolling for Dwarf Sniper, even though he was 2 away. I think it's really a lot better to wait until you get to
Find
maybe
one.
like 20 gold before you go
Yeah.
and roll down, or even the next creep round, because Montes is not close to getting kicked out in the next round or the run after that, so make sure you have the best chance you can get to get the unit that you need, because otherwise you'll just be wasting money.
Yeah, kind of like you said, that gamble for the most part, and he's going to be okay against Neutron here. Vincent going to be okay against Chuck. Neutron taking slight damage to T-Tigers. Wow, Chuck actually dropping out of 10% now against Monty, pretty much getting
Monty's gonna be
destroyed.
so strong when he gets that Dwarf Sniper 3.
And
Already
the
being strong.
Swordman 3-star as well. He's sitting on his,
you're
his
right,
bench. But he does need something to put in for that Dwarf Sniper 3-star.
Yeah, so probably no rush to get a Swordman 3, given that he needs another unit to put in for now, but when he gets both of them, I'm sure he's going to find another unit to put in.
I'd be willing to bet Vincent's going to pick up a Lightblade 3-star here and not have to worry too much as far as his items are concerned.
I'm glad your personal experience has gone beyond your logic in these games.
Just knowing Vince and Chuck, they'll figure out a way to high roll.
He says with a slight dismay of disgust in his voice.
As I've felt firsthand.
Yeah, that does sound painful indeed. Yeah, let's see if Monty hits here. Okay, moment of truth. 14, 12, 10.
Got
Does find it. Wow, nice.
Easy.
Yeah, so he's probably going to put in that Swordman 2. Gonna wait for...
Probably one more before he rolls down again.
Yeah, I think so. I think he should wait for some more interest points before he continues to go there. Does have a Frenzy Mask, so that's really nice on Dwarf Sniper 3, especially with that Ergus' bonus. It does become a lot stronger. Also, when it's protected by the Marine Shield, actually the life steal matters quite a lot. Just crushed that Doom Arbiter. Not caring too much about the Doom either. Already silenced from his items. Is taking a lot of damage though from the Venom, but is gonna win either way with the help from that Marine buff against Monty. No, sorry, it's Neutron, I believe.
It was against T-Tigers.
Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't really see it
Monty
there,
was up
yeah.
against T-Tigers there.
Yeah, you're right.
And T-Tigers taking quite a bit of damage from Vince, honestly, too. Vince losing to Neutron, Monty beating T-Tigers, Chuck losing to Sizzle, and now Chuck and Vince, the Golden Boys,
Kind of crazy,
if you will, on the chopping
They're
block.
always kind of following each other, whether it's to the depths of hell or up towards the skies.
Yeah.
Actually, I've never seen 2 refresh orbs, I felt like it was even more likely that 2 refresh orbs were this far and beyond from top 4. Yeah, that is crazy. Got a Thunder being hit, so 6 mages here.
Yep. Sizzle 6
Big
mages
deal.
versus Neutron, and his
Boom.
refresher orbs doesn't even get him a
And
chance
they're
to get
gone.
him off.
And they're gone. Yeah, that Thunder Spirit's so nice when you have 6 mages, honestly.
Chuck going down here. Vincent also
Chuck
going
being
down here.
I think Chuck is ending before Vince.
Ooh, very close one too.
Basically the same second there, but
Yeah,
Vince being out
following
in
each other
fifth,
as
yeah.
always.
as always, hand in hand. Chuck is out, Vince is out.
So our 3 bubble players, Tiger,
yeah.
Monty, and Neutron, also performing very well. Sizzle also kind of on that edge too, being in that 4th position. So honestly, they all want Sizzle to not place very well, and I'm sure they all want to get
T-Tigers,
1st place. Yeah.
Which is looking to be the case, honestly. Let's have a look at T-Tigers. Speaking of him, he does have 50 goals. He does find a Tsunami Stalker. It's kind of off place here. Probably looking actually to go up to 10, because we do have a lot of mage damage in this game. So if he goes up to 10, finds a Siren, he's gonna be in a lot better shape. Also hoping to find that Doom Arbiter to level 2. There's a chance he also puts in another Dragonite at 2 if he finds another upgrade. He's kind of getting crushed by Neutron here. I think it's how long away is it from 10? Okay, pretty far away. So he's probably gonna look to do that at after round 35, I think.
Yeah, it's actually not as far away as we thought.
It's
a little
being
bit
updated.
behind,
Yeah, that does make sense.
I like to look at this one a little bit better, although it still has some of the guys that aren't in it anymore. But we do see Tigers pretty far away from leveling.
Yeah, Neutron
the
actually
most part.
going out at 4th position here.
Oh
Being
wow, all those
eliminated.
refresher orbs, yeah, getting knocked out.
Yeah. 4th position, not something to scoff at. Neutron being one of those bubble community boys, really needing those points from 4th place is not awful. That's kind of where you want a place to be, at least somewhat happy if you play a game of auto chess.
It's just crazy how Venom can single-handedly kill one unit.
Would really love to find some magic damage immunity. If you could find a claw, that would actually be sick for Monty.
Yeah, Monty's actually looking really strong this game.
Yeah.
Just beat Sizzle. T-Tigers just lost to him by 8, and he's got some very key 3-stars and potentially going 4 Aegrises. At this point, he probably won't add it in until 9, and the fact that he's actually still level 8 and doing this well is honestly kind of intriguing.
Yeah, I think he has a perfect, he has a perfect basically comp for this lineup. He does have 2 marine units. He has Swordman that also doesn't care about magic damage basically. He does have the Pirate Captain that stuns the backline, because most of these mage players kind of clump up. And also has Dwarf Sniper to kind of pick off their backline, so you don't have to care too much about that God of War frontline or whatever it is. So yeah, I think his setup is awesome here, and that's really a testament to why he's still in this game, where there's a T-Tigers at level 10 already, and Sizzle also at level 9, with a really good lineup also.
Yeah, taking a quick peek at the items here, and all 3 players very stacked up on items, and for the most part they're pretty equal. I mean, they all have different items to kind of match their teams, and it's about the way they use them now. But as far as equality, they're in a sense all equal. The only thing is that T-Tigers doesn't really have any mana items, so it is one thing to keep in mind. But he is, he's taking some heavy damage here. Might even go. Oh, I was gonna say he might even go out here.
Yeah,
and that's
Sizzle looking really strong.
It's also crazy because T-Tigers has been in the lead for this entire game, and within 2 rounds he's lost.
I actually love
heavy damage.
Sizzle's team for 2 reasons. I mean, it's really the same reason, but he does have 6 mages, but we see that losing quite a bit, honestly, against Dragon Mage a little bit later in the game, because they don't have the same amount of sustainable damage. But you know why it has such sustainable damage? He has 3 stars, his 2 units with the lowest cooldown. It's Thunder Spirit and it's Shining Dragon. And together with that source, just keep on dashing out damage every turn. And I think that's really a testament to why he's doing so well. I mean, a lot of this kind of knight or whatever front line from Marines or whatever you have, it's gonna survive the initial burst, and then it's important to have units that could continue to dish out that damage.
Yeah, and
Look
with
at this
that
Thunder
Thunder Spirit also being
Getting
a 3-star,
CC, but
he's able to hit every single unit on the board for the most part. T-Tigers, though,
He's
picked
gonna
up
be out.
he did pick up a God of Thunder 2-star right at the end there, but yeah, he's going to take a 3rd place, and with Monty and Sizzle being above him, those are the two players that are above him in the rankings. So unfortunately, he's not going to gain any points on either of them, actually.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it, but all three of these players super happy about being in top 3. Kind of a part of the bubble community, so yeah, really important for them. We did see Monty go up to 9, so he does have that 4 air assist now. So he should be looking real strong. Although Sizzle, I mean, he has those 3-star, super crazy good, honestly, mage unit when you have 6 mages. So it's going to be interesting to see if Monty can survive here, basically. Both of this lineup has so much DPS, honestly, but that Dwarf Sniper is going down to that Venom. Venom's probably the most important unit at this point from Sizzle's side. However, that Swordman is so tanky. He must be stacked on items as he kind of just protected his entire team from those auto attacks. Yeah, we see him have an immense amount of armor, that Dragonbone shield, of course, and a lucky coin. So Swordman looking, yeah, Swordman is kind of a beast here.
Yeah, and he has the 4 egg assists in now at level 9, and he's picking up the Tsunami Stalker to potentially, instead of going for egg assists, to just throw in Tsunami Stalker as well as a Abyssal Crawler.
Yeah, that does make sense. Maybe decreasing his damage a little bit, but Sizzle running 6 mages, that's basically all of his damage getting reduced by so much.
Yeah, I definitely feel this would be
That is smart, actually.
a way smarter decision if he can actually
Maybe
find
at
the
that
Abyssal
point
Crawler.
his Dwarf Sniper might be able to survive a little bit longer too, which should basically make him deal a lot more damage in the end anyways. Yeah, but he's still kind of crushing it here. Yeah, I think Monty is going to win this almost for sure. I don't see Sizzle adding almost anything that could help him here, because Monty is winning by quite a fair margin every round here. The only reason why we're seeing the game kind of prolong is because Sizzle had so much extra life to work with. He does have 50 gold though at Glacier Clan, so can roll, I'm sorry, not roll down, but can pump in all of that money to go to 10. But I wonder, is this Storm Shaman gonna be enough? I don't know. That's still a lot of damage though with 6
with
mages.
6 mages, it's going to pretty much run through that magic resistance, but
especially if you can silence the Swordman before he gets the spin-off, that could be detrimental, because we have seen Swordman really getting that spin-off so early, and that means he survives all of the initial burst, and then just, much like a Hell Knight, just continues to cut down the backline.
Yeah.
Alright, what items do we have here? Any big upgrades? Ain't seen nothing yet. Okay, finding a Wraith Shard there for Monty, Life Crystal as well, and a Rune Hammer. As well as Sizzle picking up a staff. Okay, so he does not go up to 10.
nothing too crazy.
Yes.
Oh, Barbaric Cures for the 3-star Swordman for Monty, also adding Dragonbone Shield on both Abyssal Crawler and
Abyssal Guard.
I'm sorry, Abyssal Guard as well as Swordman, and then of course Scythe of Vice now
That is not bad.
picked up for the Tortola Elder, and I'm just gonna do this.
Oh, there we go. And let's see if the Storm Shaman is going to be enough from Sizzle. Going up to 10, as we said. This Swordman does get off his spin though, and it is going to survive through that initial burst, and then it's basically going to crush Monty Sizzle once more on his board, and that's almost going to be it. Sizzle is kind of down to the wire here. I'd be desperate if I was Sizzle. I mean, you waited until Glacier Clan, you went up to 10, spent all of your money basically. Now the only thing he can honestly get is some God of Thunder 2 maybe?
God of Thunder 2, also Flaming Wizard 2 would be nice. Helicopter is a pretty big pickup, but he doesn't really have much room to add it in.
Yeah, not if he maybe he could cut that pirate captain, but I do really like it for the I guess he does have the 4 humans anyways, but still nice magic damage, of course, and CC that you so desperately need against that kind of hunter backline.
We do
He
have
is getting
Monty with the full Marine now.
Did you see
finally.
that split?
Yeah.
Yeah, both Storm Shaman and Pirate Captain actually used their spells on a lone Dwarf Sniper that did survive both of them anyways, so kind of perfect split for Monty. That's going to make him defend on his board, and once more he crushed Sizzle, honestly, dealing 12 additional damage. This is not going to be closed, and Monty in caps shouts outclassed. A bit of BM here, but you know, probably pretty happy about being able to win this current lobby.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge for Monty being in 4th position right now, picking up 9 huge points, especially over T-Tigers and Neutron, who are all trying to gun for his spot, basically. So going into the one last game, he is looking really, really good.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a bit of a character. We can see that. Classic Storm Shaman using his ult on a lone Abyssal Crawler in the back line. Not the greatest, and also kind of a typical issue for Mage players alike, that sometimes their spell just doesn't hit right, and then it can be over just like that. As powerful as they are, they have some issues with how certain their spells are.
Yeah, no, super impressive with Monty coming back, clawing his way into this with these hunter builds, as we've seen, being so predominant, and also adding in full marine.
Yeah, I love that.
Which is crazy. I was really concerned about that full Aegis for a second there, because there wasn't really much to do with that. No one was really building warriors, so swapping those out was a very smart decision for Monty.